Warning, the following gameplay does include mature content and multiple trigger warnings as listed here. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone, Cheshire the Cat on the scene, calmly brushing his tail. Their tail. I'm so worried I forgot my gender. I'm having an identity crisis, help me. Here we go. Welcome to the chapter I've been, least looking forward to analyzing, but also I know I have to. So thank you for being my buddy in this final.
Yeah, this is some investigation discovery stuff right here.
I see you remember one of them. But that's still not good enough, you're such a silly girl. Hurry, read another story. Okay, also you said I could trade it somewhere in here. I just want to see if I can find that box really quick.
I think it's on the left side of the room.
Oh, I actually, Oh, here.
Oh, you actually can't.
I can't move around the room. I can only walk on the red carpet, so I can't do it during this segment.
Oh, that's weird.
The candles block my way. Alright, you said the one on the right?
Yeah, the chapter on the far right is the Mermaid Princess.
Here we go. Oh boy. Mermaid Princess. God, it even, once you flip the page, it's like, Yeah. A long time ago, the Mermaid Princess fell in love with a human prince. But for years, her love went unrequited. Before long, she was old and decrepit. All alone, even on the day of her death. The poor princess of the Sea Kingdom. Who'd ever want to become an ugly woman like her? Wait, so did she actually die?
No, Clara died at the end.
With everybody else.
With everybody else.
Okay.
I think. Let me double check that, because I think she actually just disappeared.
She just straight up, vanishes.
She may have gotten away then.
No, after this chapter, you kind of just don't see her again. Huh. You know, as, worried I am about approaching this chapter and as grossed out as I am about this one, when the unlucky girl closed her storybook, the strong-willed princess was there in the room. She said sourly, "Rats, the fish is gone. Mr. Hoffman will be furious. You should be looking for your own precious thing." So, I will compliment this chapter in one regard. This particular part of the story had the balls to write out this story the way it did, and it's going to come across to the player in two different ways. Either the player's going to figure out what's being said and all the symbolism and probably stop playing at this point, or keep going, or it's going to be kind of what happened to me, where I play through it and half of it goes over my head, so I'm just stupidly like, oh, this wasn't that bad. And I think that was when you DM'd me and said, okay, you're replaying this.
Yeah, okay, hold up. Here's, yeah.
Here's the deets. Because you are not saying that wasn't so bad.
I grew up on forensic files.
Poor helpless and lucky girl, tell me your tale. So... Oh yeah,
Oh boy.
Given that she's one of the bosses, wouldn't that mean that Jennifer might have actually, like, found her body?
As far as can tell, you said she was already gone, so if she wasn't there during the massacre, she could have just left.
Maybe she got adopted. Unlikely,
No, I
but
think she actually just took off.
there's nothing inside.
Of course, it's also possible that Gregory got to her before the massacre.
This is true. The first class guest sector. Here we go. Alright, if I remember, you just kind of have to run around a little bit before something actually happens. Same as last time. Yeah, there she's crying. Mm-hmm. No way, there's no such thing! This month's gift, an unmarried mermaid. Thank you for the head pass, Chitoko. I'm gonna need him!
I was about to say, yeah, these will be necessary.
Alright, an unmarried mermaid. Isn't Claire the eldest, now that I think about it? Or if not the second eldest?
16? Something thereabouts?
And Diane is also 16.
Somewhere around 15? Double check that.
Oh, Chishi, how are you? I am, well... hi, Nubs. That as fitting. There we go. Alright. I can't just keep saying this chapter's scary and not, like... Okay, yeah, I can't get into the sick room.
This is one of those the horror is reality kind of things.
Which is why I phrase it as this game had the balls to do this. Because literally everything that makes this game terrifying is the fact that it obviously not, like, actually happened, like, this game is based on a true story of a real person of blah blah blah. No. But these are things that could have happened.
And in the 1930s would have been glossed over.
You know what? I'm gonna point out the elephant in the room right away, given how the chapter is written. Is it possible that Claire was actually, I hate to say it, but in love with the headmaster?
No.
Okay. I figured I should just get that out of the way. Or that she was in love with any of the other kids.
No.
Okay. The cold princess and the wise-looking princess were talking. The unlucky girl quietly listened in. Diana was quite upset. Don't you think that was too much? We had to do it. Besides, there's no such thing as mermaids. Don't you agree, Meg? You're right. That was the only thing we could do. So they're punishing Claire.
No, Diana was the one in charge of looking after the fish.
Oh.
That's why she's freaking out.
Then the wise-looking princess asked, "How about you, Jennifer? Do you believe in mermaids?" The cold princess said, "They're such beautiful and pure creatures." Not really looking at them from a mythological standpoint, but continue on. You're looking for a mermaid too, aren't you? Then you better hurry. Diana might find it before you. Like, clearly Diana's got some kind of problem. Okay, we got a fish scale.
And then you just have Brown search for the fish scale.
How's it going, Nips? So dramatic, Jennifer. I get. I guess this is what really drives in the fact that this is the 1930s, because most horror games, if I recall correctly, were either set in the heavily Victorian time or around between the 80s and 90s, actually, like usually when they were released.
Like
Because
even now, you see a lot of horror games, especially the indie ones set in the 80s and 90s.
horror is relevant. It's
Yeah.
it's easier to put to make something seem terrifying when the player either can understand what's happening, because it's not likely that someone who picked up Rule of Rose would know what society was like in the 30s, let
Like,
alone.
I grew up around my mama a lot, who was born right before the Great Depression hit. But also, it's Eastern Kentucky, so it's a little bit more isolated.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's like dragging her.
Yeah. Yeah. So while Jennifer is currently as she is now, her memories are from how her brain processed all of this when she was somewhere between 8 and 10.
So, as far as she would have seen, the girl getting dragged away would have just been like, oh, she broke a rule, she's in trouble.
Yeah.
Not lower vertical tail.
No.
I like how this is something I may have to do a little bit of extra editing to show this, but there's a section of the game. Oh, hey, I got a meat cleaver and a fish head. Fish heads, fish heads.
Think.
That's a real song. I'll have to show it to you later. It's an absolute acid trip. Fish head that's been chopped off its body. But yeah, now that I think about it, in the cutscene that plays at the start of the game, the airship just looks like a giant fish in the sky.
Yeah.
Also, you reacted when I said lower vertical tail. Possible explanation?
What?
When I said the word lower vertical tail, you reacted. I was just naming where I was in the ship. Or is it something you can't talk about because family might barge in?
No, I think I was just focusing on my wool here.
Oh.
Yeah, I am making yarn also, so.
A good distraction from... Yes.
I don't have to look down to spin yarn. I can look at the screen and the yarn at the same time.
I got a lollipop. That's a full heal. I do like the detail of if you look around, you can see fish swimming in the air.
Yeah.
But they're like
Because
fish
this
bones.
was new technology at the time, and something that a kid probably wouldn't quite get.
The airship, or...
Like the Zeppelin, specifically.
The fish has just got to be this way. I just know it. I lost Brown.
Oh no.
Okay, this way. Now we're following Diane. I like that the ship just kind of like blacks out at these points. Like, you're just going into like an unknown void.
Yeah.
Because that very well may have been all that she could see. Doll legs. Okay, so who knows what a reverse mermaid is?
Oh no.
Because it's exactly what it sounds like. Rather than a woman with a fish for a lower half, it's a fish with a woman for a lower half. Reverse mermen exist as well.
Also, see Lovecraftian horror.
Also, reversed lamias are a thing as well.
Is that like Naga, though?
What, a snake head on a human body?
Or is that just like a D&D monster I'm thinking about?
I think you're thinking of a D&D monster.
I may be thinking of a D&D monster.
Crap, Brown! There's too many of them here. I can't just run past them. Can I get a little help?
So I didn't fall asleep until about 7 this morning.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Slightly out of it.
I mean, again, a good time. I hate that the fish, like, flop on the ground when you beat them up. Like, they're still a pain. Like, they actually become more dangerous once they're on the ground. Alright.
And then you just book it.
Yeah, the mermaid room.
Yeah, I think this is the... Yeah.
So Jennifer saw him doing it to her.
Basically, yeah.
Oh my...
But her being that young, she had no idea what was going on.
Yeah. And of course, Brown's like, nope, that's where we gotta go. The mermaid's room, here we are.
So y'all remember when I said that a lot of the gore was abstracted?
Now it's not.
Here we go.
This is the most graphic it gets gore-wise. Well, here she's tied up upside down. So this isn't it happening to Jennifer herself, but her being a witness to someone else.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that she's all stitched together... I can't do anything to her while she's on the bed. And then she's vomiting, and the... I just noticed there's handprints. Like... Where... Like there's handprints across her body.
I think those are meant to be,
Like gills?
like...
Oh, they are gills.
But there's also, gill slits in her wrists.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to explain the symbolism there.
Yeah. And there's the... And then... I never saw that on my first playthrough. How did I miss that? I guess I just never saw her at that angle, but yeah, there is a cut across her abdomen.
Yeah. Well, like, the camera doesn't...
Well, it
she
actually
has stitches basically everywhere around her. But notably around her chest.
And abdomen.
Yeah.
You know... So your theory is that she got away. My theory is that she's already dead.
That is a possibility given what has happened.
Can I share an idea now that I'm looking at how this boss is designed? What if Jennifer had also stumbled upon her dead body after the fact? Given the implied gill marks across her wrist that you mentioned. What are the odds
that could be a possibility too. It's never really explained what happened to Clara.
But after this chapter, she just vanishes.
Yeah.
The sound of her crying and the rope tying doesn't help. The vomiting doesn't. Oh.
That's linked to the stitches in her belly, most likely.
Ow. Oh god, I'm dying.
Yeah, that's her strongest attack. Just partly because of the damage. It's damage per tick, not per second, apparently.
Yeah, if you stand still, you're fine. Surprisingly.
Yeah. It's the way the game calculates movement.
Also, poor Brown. Brown is down.
But also strong symbolism that she feels trapped with the rope around her legs.
That Claire does, or that Jennifer does, if this is Jennifer's memories?
That Claire does.
I would say, then again, my thoughts on her stumbling on Claire's dead body, possibly during the massacre, would also make sense, because of the way that you find the teacher when you fight the teacher, and then he's A-okay when you find him literally in the next chapter.
Yeah.
So I think the other reason I didn't quite notice what was going on with Claire is because at this point in the game, all my brain can process is... what?
Yeah.
Because everything up to this point and just a little after it is completely out of order. And I just heard what the cries sound like on an extended time, and I hate it.
Yeah, I can't really hear much of the stream, because I got the volume down to kind of not be talking over my own voice, but...
I get it. I believe me, I totally get it. I will DM you what I heard after recording.
I probably heard it in another playthrough. I've watched this game a couple of times.
Like, it's an amazing game!
Oh, yeah.
Like, this was deemed a cult classic for a reason. Oh god, stop. No! Oh, crappity. And here's where all my health items go bye-bye.
Yeah. This is actually also considered one of the hardest fights in the game.
If not the hardest?
If not the hardest.
I would honestly say the hardest fight in the game would either be this or the stray dog. Not because of the stray dog actually fighting you, but because of the realization that you have to use the gun, not fire the gun.
Yeah.
Oh, right, lollipops are in full heal. Oh god, I may die here. Oh, stop barfing on me. Please. There, I got a couple of good hits in.
Also, some symbolism there that Clara doesn't want to grow up, doesn't want to fully develop because of this.
Because of by the chest, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh god, I may die here. I am out of healing items. Can you stop barfing, please?
Basically, so much of the room gets blocked off during this fight that it makes it very hard to move around without,
just taking damage?
Without taking heavy damage.
And now that my movement's in slow, she's just gonna drop right on me. Come on. You or me? Oh god, I'm still alive. How much health have I got? Oh boy. I take one more hit and I'm dead.
Yeah.
Come on. It's a new game plus. Let me see her health too. Oh my god, that didn't kill me.
Your melee attacks are really weak.
Oh, she's gonna barf. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Please don't reach me, I'm in the corner.
Let me see if I can find...
Hope y'all
Wiki
don't...
had an extra...
Why are you swiping at the air, hon? I can't get any closer to you. Drop closer to me! God damn it.
If you're playing on an emulator, consider using a widescreen hack. The extra field of view on the left and right can help immensely when figuring out
Oh god, I beat her!
next. Oh, okay. Yeah, normally if you were running through this game,
Let me just pick up the toy.
Yeah.
What in blazes? Just who did this?
If you were running through this game normally, you'd be using the meat cleaver.
Was it you?
Which is not ideal.
Go on, tell me.
The umbrella is better. Yeah.
To be Diana?
And there he's being all creepy with Diana.
Me or Daddy will ever want you if you don't like that. I won't be angry. Just answer me. It was you, wasn't it? You were in charge after all.
So is it implied that he did the same things to Diana?
Possibly.
Yuck! How disgusting. Ugh. Oh, now I see. It was you. It was.
There's
your
also
fault I got
some
into
implication
trouble.
here that her tears are fake.
Give it here.
That she's manipulating a Hoffman as well.
Oh my.
Given how she
Insane.
reacts
I've got to clean it up.
towards
or Mr.
Jennifer
Hoffman
in
will
this
be
scene.
angry with me.
She bullies him because of the fact that Hoffman will be angry with her?
Oh,
Ooh.
also that her mood 100% changes there.
Uh-huh. Time to hobble to the fish tank.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, how many of the girls knew? Oh, there, the doll falls apart inside the fish tank. There's a slip of paper. There, a slip of paper is peeking out of its tummy. I am yours even in death. The Mermaid Princess. A long, long time ago, the Mermaid Princess fell in love with a human prince. Except she didn't actually fall in love. But for years her love went unrequited. What I find interesting is that this is actually this is being compared to the original telling of The Little Mermaid, which is a tragedy. For those that don't know, the actual story of The Little Mermaid is tragic.
Also be referring to Wendy and Jennifer.
Oh, that they fell in love, but it never happened?
Well, because Wendy got jealous of Brown.
That's right. The poor, poor princess of the Sea Kingdom. Who would ever want to become an ugly woman like her? I am yours even in death. Wendy. The lucky girl remembered the promise she made to her dear friend, so she wrote it on the chalkboard.
Because, like, you'll notice at the end of these books, it's a memory of the promise made to Wendy.
Yeah. As if this is all getting blurred together in that regard.
Yeah.
Everlasting and I am yours. Would you like to save? Yes. Well, there we did
Yes.
it. So, really, I guess this is just...
The chapter is short, but it pulls no punches.
I feel dumb. And allow me to explain why. I know you usually go, no, not dumb, but let me explain why on this one. I think it's because of the fact that, I'm gonna outright say it, even though I identify as non-binary, I still have masculine parts, masculine body. So, because of that, I cannot understand the physiology, is that the right word? Physiology?
Yeah.
Of a feminine body. So for me, that might be why my first time playing through this chapter, none of it occurred to me. Not entirely because I am big dumb, but because it is something that I would never have to think about. So...
Like, that's where your discussion becomes important. And you really don't expect a game like this to really go to that point, even if it is abstracted.
Like, it's an abstract telling of it, but the bottom line is Hoffman is sexually harassing the orphans to the point where he, I guess, since I haven't actually said it for the YouTube video, and I'll take the bullet, he had to force one to have an abortion. Is what we saw. That's what we saw with the scars. And the reason why I really lean to the idea of Claire not running away, but possibly taking a big end, this is where I have to choose my words carefully, is because of the fact that she's already going through puberty, and that means that her emotions are unstable, as it is. Let alone...
Yeah, also...
the sudden influx and then depravity of motherly instincts may have just led to that.
It's not instinct. There's, like, pretty intensive hormonal changes that go with that, too.
So it isn't... Would you say it's more likely that she ran, or more likely that that is the last time we see her? Like, period. End of story.
It's left ambiguous, and it may have been left ambiguous on purpose. But she just disappears.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the third possibility that Hoffman may have just killed her.
No, wait, she's there in November.
Huh.
So it's possible she just left.
Or that she got caught up in the massacre. No, because you don't see her during that part.
No, she left sometime between November and the massacre. Like I said, it's possible Gregory got to her, though.
Just
before the massacre.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the relation... You mentioned the relation to Wendy and the promise. If Claire had been trying to escape and ran away... I'm grasping here, but big theory. Let's say she stumbles on Wendy and Jennifer having their promise. Or Wendy and Joshua having their promise. and she stumbles on Brown and the jealousy that Wendy has of Brown. And then she stumbles on Wendy training Gregory. Because that's very much a thing, and it's not like that would have happened overnight.
No, because that would have to be a whole lot of coincidences.
They're not too far from the orphanage.
It's a couple miles.
I guess another thing to really tackle on this is something I've said once, twice, and now I'm going to say it a third time. This you do not expect a game to deliver something that punches this hard, but also it does so in a completely random way that the player would... I think this is a difference of, did you play the game or did you watch it? Because when you're playing the game, you're focused on, oh god, this monster is barfing on me. Oh god, there goes my health. Oh god, I'm being attacked. Oh god, I'm gonna die and go back and there hasn't been a save point since the start of this chapter. Oh god, I don't have healing items. Oh god, I don't have Brown.
Yeah.
You don't have time to really react to what's being portrayed. So it kind of flies over the player's head, and I'm gonna outright say it.
And it comes back later.
And I
you
really
start realizing.
And I feel like this is just another thing that modern horror games kind of forget. They remember the shock value, but not the delivery. Which is why... Am I the only one that has a harder time finding good modern horror games?
I feel that because I end up watching a whole lot of indie ones. And they're becoming almost formulaic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that.
This will technically be in line with the YouTube video. So I just played a bunch of the, David Sawinski? Was that his name? Fingerbones, Iron Lung. All those games?
I do not know.
I just played the 5 indie horror games, all made by, the guy that made Iron Lung. And by this point in time, they'll have been released for YouTube, so whatever. What he does is he makes linear games that don't feel linear. You are puzzle solving, and every time you solve a puzzle, a piece of the story is given to you along the way. And I personally think that that is brilliant. Because it consistently lulls you into this secure spot only to take it away again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially with Iron... And then there's Iron Lung, that's just flat out... It becomes more unnerving as you play it. This...
Yeah, because all you know with that one is you're in a ship, and you have no idea what's going on outside of that ship, save for still photography.
And even then... Well, and sounds.
And sounds.
But what good do sounds do? And I bring that up as, like, an example of a modern game that does a good job of capturing that horror without being shock value. This... I feel like a horror game does need shock value. It does require something to stun the player or the observer. But the problem is that so many modern people, and this goes for scary movies too, I'm seeing a lot of redoings of older characters, and they ride on the hype of those older characters. Like, example, I love the Halloween movies that have been coming out. I freaking love Michael Myers. He is the most terrifying thing in cinema to me. But the fact is, it's a continuing of a series that is already hyped and popular.
Mm-hmm.
So, while there is a new story and it's really good, it's also not anything new. and anything that tries to be new. I feel like I'm derailing from what I'm trying to say.
You have to have some subtlety and some finesse when it comes to horror.
Mm-hmm.
Just something jumping out at you. Just ooga booga. No.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, go on.
This game does a very good job of abstracting things that are absolutely horrifying and outright abhorrent. And it does it in a way where you don't quite realize what you've seen and what has gone on until hours later, or even after you've beaten the game or revisited it.
Mm-hmm. Or you're me and you're sitting down and... I haven't done any editing of this yet. I'm gonna outright say I haven't done any editing of this yet because I'm actually kind of scared of what I'm gonna find.
Oh, yeah.
But... It's amazing. And the last game that I feel did this correctly, and I feel like this is a cop-out because it's a game that mimics this playstyle, but you recommended Song of Horror to me because of how much I love these games. That game is fantastic. It is rage-inducing, to be sure, and I'm gonna say fuck Chapter 4.
It has a few jump scare moments, but a lot of the horror is what door is safe. I don't know. You can die if you don't listen to a door long enough.
Oh yeah,
the decisions you make, they matter, and if you lose a character, it matters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost more horrifying the worse that you are at the game, because it's going to add more danger. Not just in running out of characters, but things that can happen while you're playing because you've lost characters.
That can now be used against you.
Mm-hmm.
And like it, but more what I find brilliant about it is in this game it's, you mentioned simplicity. God, I'm going to be ranting on this for a while, but this is exactly what I wanted to do with this playthrough, so here we go. When you say the simplicity, the base mechanic of this game is find the thing, give it to the dog. That's it. That's the entire game. Find the thing, give it to the dog.
And maybe stab a thing along the way if you have to.
Maybe. Probably. Once or twice. And then comes the later parts where Brown can't help you. Like, near the end of the game, there is no Brown, so you're left with this genuine feeling of helplessness. And that is something that's captured well in the game, outside of the subtlety and symbolism and shock value around it, that, frankly, the player is missing because find the thing, give it to the dog.
And then suddenly, dog is not there, and you are on your own.
And then you have to realize what's been happening around you. I feel like that's when the story really hit me, because, like, that was when you told me about the Mermaid chapter, and I was like, what? No, that couldn't be. There's no way a game would have had the stones to do that.
And it had the stones to do that.
And more. And
got banned in a couple of countries for it, but
it got banned in the UK just because of the depiction of children killing adults.
Yeah.
Which I find hilarious. As if that is the worst thing in this game. Honey, that is putting your toe in the jacuzzi. Come and take an ice bath with us.
Oh, boy.
But now I'm rambling, so... And we're nearing the 1 hour mark. The 45-minute mark on the recording, so... Any final thoughts?
So this is probably the first chapter where you really, really start seeing how messed up things are. Even if you don't realize it right away, this is kind of the turning point in the game.
Hmm. Alright. And that's that. Or any further...
Nothing I can think of at the moment.
Alright, then without further ado, for the folks on YouTube, this is Xeshire the Cat signing off, and I will see you YouTubers in the next episode. Till then, take care, ta-ta for now.